Now, Tom, you and I, we love a bit of a conspiracy. We're kind of conspiracy guys.
Yeah,
You and
yeah.
I.
I'm intrigued. At the very least, I'm always intrigued.
Always intrigued. And this is one of the biggest conspiracy theories that has been going around for quite a few years now. Now, some people don't think it's a conspiracy. Some people think it's true. It is the flat earth thought, right? That the earth is flat. We've been thinking that it is, a sphere spinning in space. Some people say, no, it's actually flat.
We think that because that's what science tells us.
Right.
But is science telling the truth? And that's where we have the breakdown. We have a special guest joining us.
Yes, we do. It's David Weiss, also known as Flat Earth Dave. Welcome to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me. I'm seem to be getting on a lot of Australian shows this week. I have 5 different shows in Australia, so something's going on there. Maybe you guys aren't upside down after all, and you're waking up.
Okay, well, I mean, that's a good point. Being upside down, we are on the other side of the world from you at the moment over in the States.
Across the plane.
Can you? Okay.
Across the plane.
Can you please?
Okay.
Can I just say, if I get on a plane,
yeah,
and I just keep flying east, what will happen? Do you think?
You will end up right back to where you started from, because east and west are circles. The flat Earth is not a disk floating in space. It's a circular pond. Antarctica is the shoreline of that pond. If you have I have a magnet here in the center, and as I'm pushing it east, or this is going west, I have to keep turning to keep that needle pointed towards the center. East and west are circles. This does not prove the Earth is flat because it works the same on a ball. Okay. So now I'm pushing it east, and east is a circle, right? If you go straight, you're going south. Now watch, I'm going to try to dead reckon west here, and I'm not going to correct to the north, and immediately I'm heading south. South is every direction away from the center.
Okay.
I'm still a bit confused, if I'm honest.
Go ahead. What's that?
I'm still a bit confused, if I'm honest. Like, this is the thing. I'm very open to the way of thinking and all this sort of stuff, but I just can't get over the fact that that the Earth is a sphere. I mean, it's what we've all been shown. How did you get on this journey, Dave? Have you always been like this, or has it just been something that's come out the last few years? Like, you were once like us, right?
Yeah,
non-believers of this flat Earth.
I was a ball believer, but then I said, there's flat Earth is stupid. Everyone thinks that flat Earth is the dumbest thing in the world, and that's because they've been indoctrinated to think that this is flat Earth. No, this is not flat Earth. Flat Earth is not a disk floating in space. Flat Earth is more like a pond, right? All of the continents, the islands, are surrounded by water, but all of the water has a container, and that container is the shoreline of Antarctica. Antarctica is the highest land on Earth, and it contains the world pond. Large bodies of water at rest lay flat, and there is no curvature, testable, measurable curvature. So when I first heard about it, I said, you're crazy. I banned people from our social media forever, banned for life, for even suggesting that I watch a stupid flat Earth video. But then I was forced to look. And when I looked, I found out we can see things too far, right? I looked up the curvature formula. I even gave it all the benefit to the ball. Like, there should be 66 feet of curvature at 10 miles. Some ball believers say, no, you have to divide that in half. I'm like, okay, 33 feet of curvature. I can sit down at the shoreline, see a buoy that's 11 miles away, and I can see the surface of the water for dozens of miles beyond it. That's impossible on a ball 24,901 miles around. I mean, when you said before, we believe science. Well, science is a thing. It's not a word. The only thing that ballers, I used to be a baller, is science and physics, but we just have the words. Every single test that's ever been done by any scientist has proven that the Earth is stationary and not a sphere. And they don't teach you that in school. There's a whole bunch of accredited experiments, right? But when we send a balloon up to 120,000 feet, there's the horizon, straight and at eye level. When you're in an airplane at, the airplane's at like 29,000 feet or whatever, at 39,000 feet, you should be able to see, if you're on the ground, the horizon at 39,000 feet, the horizon should be 242 miles away. Okay. That's a drop of 39,050 feet, right? The airplane's already up. You have to add those two numbers together. The horizon should be 78,000 feet below you. 78,000 feet. The YouTube spy plane doesn't even fly that high. All right. Did I say YouTube spy plane. So, but when next time you're on an airplane, look out the left window, look out the right window, and draw a line from the horizon. It'll go right through your eyes. Okay. Because the horizon's at eye level. According to globe math, the horizon should be 78,000 feet below you. This picture here is taken at 120,000 feet. Okay. This is what the Earth looks like at 120,000 feet straight. They show you fisheye lenses. Okay. None of that's true. No matter how high you go, it's flat and it comes up to eye level. Questions?
So what's the end game? Why would we be deceived into thinking that it's a globe as opposed to the pond that you described?
Well, it's all about control. Look what's going on in the world. You guys are under tyranny, right? It's just as bad here, and actually it's not as quite as bad. But it's all about the elite, if you want to call them, controlling us. There's two reasons. One, they want to make you feel powerless and insignificant, so they have you believing that you're on a spinning speck flying through an infinite universe, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,600 miles an hour. Funny number. Right? Chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour and then moving sideways at millions of miles an hour. All of that, and we don't feel anything. Okay. So they want you to feel that you're in a distant god or godless universe where an asteroid could take you out at any time. But the truth of the matter is that we are at the center of creation, that we are here in this special place that was made for us. Don't know who made it. It's just intelligently designed, and that's your own journey to figure it out from there. But what else they could be hiding is more land, right? There's a map that was discovered in Hawaii, a Japanese map from 10 centuries ago, showing over 30 other continents outside of the land of Antarctica. We live here. This is Antarctica. And beyond Antarctica, there's other worlds right here on the Earth plane. So if we had extraterrestrials, they're not coming from ridiculous light years, which is just impossible. They're coming just from a couple thousand miles away. They can make it, and turn around and make it back for dinner. Okay. They can come, abduct somebody and go back for dinner.
Yeah. It's like, look, it's amazing way that you think. I guess it's hearing you say the word, it's impossible. It's impossible. But I mean, life, the fact that we're here, life is impossible. Do you know what I mean? So
you're right.
It's
that proves it. We didn't evolve from pond scum. We were created, right? It's impossible that pond scum created eyeballs that can see distance and color and communication and faces and all of that stuff. That is not, we were created. Okay. Saying that we evolved, you have to believe in evolution if you believe in the Big Bang. Once upon a time, there was nothing. It exploded and became everything. And then all of the rocky bits turned into, planets, and all of the gases turned into giant balls that had more gravity than the planets and left a vacuum in between. Nature abhors a vacuum. You can't have a gas ball in a vacuum. We can't be flying. Like, you go out tonight, look at the stars at whatever time, and then might make a star chart next year, same day, same time. You go out and look, the stars will be in the exact same position, even though we're billions of miles corkscrewing through space. Okay.
Yeah, but I think it's because, I mean, from my understanding is that it's thousands of light years away. So it's hard for us
that's what they tell us. It's so far away, but scientifically, we can prove that we could not see a star because the sun at just 93 million miles away is the size of a coin held at arm's length. If you made it 5 times farther, but let's say 24 times farther, scientifically, we can prove that its angular size is too small. All right. So that's only 3 light hours away. If we did that. Okay. They tell us Polaris, the North Star, you guys wouldn't know about that because it's too low on your horizon. You don't see it, but they say it's 433 light years away. We could not see the sun at 3 light hours away, and we could see this little star at 433 light years away. These are numbers that just make your mind melt.
A lot of numbers, Flat Earth Dave. Tell me, what are we looking at in the sky then if they're not the stars that we think they are?
Yeah, that's a great question. When you look at the stars in the sky, have you guys ever heard of luminescence, where they take water and they put sound waves into it and it creates these little stars, right? This is the star Sirius through today's optics. Today's optics, consumer optics, have outgrown their lies, right? That's the star Sirius. This is the star, what is that star? Capella, right? This does not look like what NASA tells us, right? Here's my favorite. This is Arcturus, right? These things are in the sky. I don't know what they are. I think they're sentient. I think they're intelligence. They're, maybe that's where our souls are. Our souls are in the stars, and, all of the planets, which used to be called wandering stars, they're all named after gods. This is what Mars looks like when you zoom in on it. NASA will show you this dusty, dirty ball, tell you they have a rover on it. That's complete and total nonsense. Once you start looking at the NASA and SpaceX, it's the dumbest thing ever.
So, you know how NASA and Elon Musk and all that sort of stuff are spending a lot of money to go out to Mars, to go to the moon and stuff. How do you keep, because between us, sometimes I'm like, hey, Tom, don't say this. I'm going to tell you something. Don't tell anyone this secret. And it comes out. How can people keep a secret like that? So many people that are attached to the program of, putting in a fake moon landing or putting fake images of Earth up. Like, I just don't understand how aren't more people telling the truth then. Well,
because there's not nearly as many people that work at NASA or at SpaceX that you think. Everything's compartmentalized. There are people there that just, they do their work, but they don't see anything else. This is supposedly a real rocket launch, right? There's so many things wrong with this. This was a launch the other day. Now, this thing is 40,000 pounds falling back to Earth. Does this look like 40,000 pounds falling back to Earth? Look at the speed that the smoke is coming off of it. And it's going to show you a different angle in a second. Look at this. It's barely moving. This is either CGI or a blimp filled with helium. NASA owns all of the helium companies in the world and is the largest consumer of helium. Why do you think that is? Look at this thing. This thing's falling, free falling. That doesn't look like it's free falling. And all of a sudden it's high, when they show us the camera, onboard camera. It's the most ridiculous thing ever. NASA is the largest consumer of helium. Do you know about their helium balloon satellite program? Watch this thing land. Watch all of this fake smoke. What, did they forget to sweep off the deck? Watch this when it comes down to land. It's all fake, and it's provably fake. And I could show you they're faking everything on the International Space Station. Look at this. This is ridiculous. Anyone that believes this is real is...
I haven't seen that in real time before.
Yeah.
Very interesting.
This is how they launch balloons. Okay. Launch satellites. They're all on balloons. They launch satellites on balloons that are bigger than football stadiums. Okay. This is massive. And they want you to, they say there's a helium shortage. There's infinite amount of helium, but they don't want us building airships, because airships are the way people used to travel around the surface of the Earth. Not like this.
Wow.
Okay. Here's something for you. Here's something.
That's a lot to think about, Dave.
So look at this.
I can 100. Yeah.
East-west circumnavigation has been done billions of times. Billions of people have gone around the world. I could leave New York. I can travel east, go to Europe, go all the way around, come back to California, and I'm home. I can go the other way, which I showed you earlier how east and west work. 0 people have done this. 0. Because you can't. Because the Earth is flat.
Do you think that you will put together a scientific study of your own where it's like, okay, let's get a plane and let's just fly that way and
Here's
see what
how you
happens?
do it.
Like, have you tried to do that?
Here's how you do it. First, let me show you, because you guys are in Australia. If I want to go from Santiago to Australia, instead of just cutting across the bottom of the ball, which would be the fastest way, FlightAware says, just go here, right? Or, go around Antarctica, because we don't want to disturb the penguins, right? So this is how they go. If I want to go to Western Australia, it's worse. The flight goes all the way up here, all the way over to Europe, and all the way down to Dubai, and then here. Okay. Why would it do that crazy trip? And the answer is because the Earth is flat. We go up across the United States, Europe, Dubai, and Western Australia. It's a straight line. So how would we prove the Earth is not a ball and flat? Very simple. And we could do it in one day and put this to bed. Okay. They tell us the Antarctica is 13,000 miles around. So we get 2 airplanes, we go here, we refuel, and we have people like you, people like me, scientists, doctors, whatever. We have everyone on these 2 planes from both camps, flat Earth camp, scientific camp, whatever, students. And one plane goes clockwise and one plane goes counterclockwise, staying about 1,000 feet so we can see the shoreline, and we just follow the shoreline. 7,000 miles later, that both planes should meet over here about 9 hours later. Okay. Plane goes about 500 miles an hour. Boom, meets the planes. But that's not how it works, because the earth is flat and the trip is more like 60,000 miles. Captain Cook was the last person to try it, and it took him 3.5 years, and he went over 60,000 miles. Okay. 13,000 mile continent is not, there's no excuse for that.
Yeah. Okay. Well, look, you make a very compelling argument. I can certainly see how people believe the flat earth theory when you explain it the way you do.
Do you guys have Bitcoin down there? You guys know what Bitcoin is? Bitcoin.
Yeah.
Cryptocurrency. I am offering 2 Bitcoins to anybody that takes the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app challenge. Get this app. It bypasses the YouTube algorithms, Google algorithms. You search Flat Earth, you're going to end up at the Flat Earth Society, which is nonsense. It's a government-controlled disinformation site. It'll feed you all of the questions. Every day, there's a new video on the app, right? Watch the daily video every day for 2 weeks. After that 2 weeks, if you have one proof of the globe, just one, send it to me, info@theflatearthpodcast.com, and I will give you 2 Bitcoins. But before you do, you have to hit the frequently asked question button, and there will be all of the questions that you're going to ask with playlists of videos. Don't just believe the videos. Look at the video. Go confirm it yourself. All right?
Wow. Look, I'm not going to lie to you, Dave. It's a bit of a weird one, but I can see that you're a passionate guy, and I mean, the truth is out there.
I mean, I just imagine if it was actually true, the world would just lose its mind.
It is, and that's why they're hiding this, because when people wake up to flat Earth, they wake up to all the other tyranny. Here's the thing: you guys are on lockdown, right? Right? The only control the government has over you is in your mind. Okay. If everyone woke up tomorrow and goes, they're nonsense, and we're ignoring the government, you wouldn't even know they existed, because they'd be gone. Right? They control us with fear. They control us with nonsense. We're running out of water. That's not possible. There's infinite water. We're running out of food. You can stick a seed in the ground, water will fall from the sky, and food will grow. There's no food shortage. Okay. There's no nuclear bomb scares. There's no rogue countries. All of it is made up nonsense. They've divided us by countries. They divided us by regions, by sex, by political parties, by sports teams. Divide. Now you got vaxxers, anti-vaxxers. They're just dividing us because they know if we come together, they're finished. That's why they keep us, in fear, fighting. It's insane. It's insane. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Sorry, go ahead.
The government can't even get something done in a week, let alone that's why it's hard to believe on our, because it's like, yeah, we've seen the government try and do work, and sometimes
it's beyond the government. It's the people that rule this world are the royal families, the United Nations, the Bilderberg Group, the I can't say that one. What is that one? What's this one say? I can't even say it. Trilateral Commission. These are all of the things that the groups that run the world. They're the ones that control all the politicians. All of the presidents of the United States, except one of them, are like cousins. Did you know that? They're all related. They all go back to one king. Okay. It's all controlled and staged. Have you guys looked into Tartaria yet? Worldwide advanced civilization.
We're just getting on this.
Baby steps.
One other thing, and I'll send you a link if you want to link it. I interviewed a woman about the World's Fairs, which was another huge rabbit hole. And she, 102 years old, this was February 2020. And this was before COVID. She had such a great memory. She was telling me about her 5th birthday party. I said, what did they teach you in school? I never mentioned flat earth to her. And she goes, they taught me the earth was flat, but then, years later they changed it. And I just, believed them. It didn't make any sense, but I believed them. 1920, 1920s, in the 20s. Then we found another woman in Croatia in the 1930s. She said all the schools were teaching flat earth. We found newspaper articles from the New York Journal, which is now the New York Times, talking about teachers being persecuted and threatened to go to jail for trying to teach the globe model in school, right? So this whole thing that we've known for 2,000 years, bonkers, nonsense. This is a takeover that happened less than 100 years ago.
Crazy.
Wow, man.
You could spend ages on it.
Yeah, I know. We could talk to you for hours, Dave. We know that we could. It has been great getting you on the show and trying to explain it, because I mean, What do you think, Tom?
I'm open-minded. It's hard to disregard everything you've ever been taught, though. So look, I'm open to. I would never tell you you're wrong, but
it is hard. It is hard, but you know, I'm not stealing your world from you. I'm not ripping the foundation out from underneath you. I'm giving you a foundation. You're not spinning out of control on a speck in an infinite space vacuum. All of that is just impossibilities. You've been lied to your whole life, and when you're ready to face it, which is painful, you'll become a more awake, aware, better person. My life, you know, I went through a lot, you know, coming through this transition. Amazing. Life is so amazing every single day. So you can find me at theflatearthpodcast.com. It's also the name of my podcast, The Flat Earth Podcast. Get the app. It's on Android and Apple. It's $3 American. So what's that, like 400 in Australian or whatever it is?
Yeah, never mind.
And you own it forever. It's a one-time charge. There's a little pop-up that says, would you like to subscribe? Don't subscribe. Just X that out, and then you're good to go. And it's read the reviews if you're unsure. It's the highest rated app in the App Store, the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app by Blue Water Bay. There's a knockoff out there already by the Flat Earth Society government people, giving it away free by the same name. It's horrible. Don't send me an email telling me my app sucks, because my app doesn't suck.
Okay. All right, Flat Earth David Weiss, thank you so much for your time today.
All right. Thanks so much, guys.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock App, a dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face, or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock App with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth. And clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.